Welcome back to your property lawyer. I am Olajide, your real estate legal plug. Today's episode is very special, especially if you're thinking of buying property for the first time in Nigeria. I have invited someone who is just like many of you, eager, curious, and cautious to ask me the real questions when it comes to being a first time buyer and questions they are also afraid to ask. Hello, Dami.
Hi, Barista. Hello, everyone. I'm so glad to be here. And I've been doing some research, but I'm still confused. And so today I will be asking Olajide everything I have always wanted to know.
So let's go. And for those watching, feel free to pause, take notes, and also share this with anyone who wants to buy land or home in Nigeria.
So I will be asking you some of those questions that I actually jotted down. And so to my first question, because with what I have seen and what I have been hearing, there is so much noise in the real estate market, which brings me to say, where do I even begin if I am to begin?
Hmm. Excellent. That's an excellent question. So there are three major questions you need to start before you even proceed to do anything.
Okay.
Three major questions. Ask yourself before you even start the whole process of acquiring any property in Nigeria. Now, the first thing you need to consider is what is my budget? The second thing you need to do is why am I buying? Why the third one is where? So, what is your budget? You need to know or you need to consider before buying anything what your budget is. You just don't jump into the transaction and they start coming up with different um, surprises. You need to be sure. So you need to know what your budget is. Don't just consider the cost of the land. You need to include your legal, agency, survey, and registration costs. There are a lot of other costs. So you need to sit down and analyze your plan, strategize. Then also you need to know what you are buying. What is the purpose? Is it for residential purpose, for living, or is it just that you want to invest? You sell later, or is it for future resale? A lot of people have different reasons why they are buying property. Some may want to buy property for commercial use. Some may want to even buy a residential property to rent out. So they also consider the economical factor in that area. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Why the third one is where? So you need to narrow it down to a few locations. You research them thoroughly. You just don't buy land. You tell your agent or you tell whosoever you are telling to get a property for you that anywhere. Anywhere is actually nowhere. So you need to actually streamline your where. You need to narrow it down to a few locations. So that means you must have done some research. So, for instance, just imagine someone that I want to buy property to use it for a shortlet. Definitely, I won't go to Ekpe to go and buy property there.
No.
So I would have done my research and I would know that Victoria Island, Lekki, they're actually good locations and it's going to yield interest or to yield profit when I do that. So those are the things you need to consider. So I have a story, and I once have a client. I had a client who bought the person bought land in a remote area, and just because it was cheap, just 2 years later they
Okay.
regretted it.
Wow.
And why are they regretting it? Because after 2 years there is no feasible infrastructure, no development at all in that area. So they are now regretting it. But assuming they've actually sat down to ask themselves this question, they wouldn't have made themselves in this crossroad. So I think that answers your questions.
Yeah, I think so as well. Thank you very much for enlightening me because I mean, for most people, we really don't know the reason behind why we just once we say, oh, there's a land somewhere, or Ekpa is the hottest. It's oh, let me to buy. But
Yeah.
sometimes we really don't have this knowledge, or we don't ask ourselves these questions. But thank you very much. And so the next time I would want to purchase, or I have a client, I would ask the client these three questions. Thank you very much.
You're
And so
welcome.
moving on to the next question. hmm And so the next question is, so when I find a property that I like, what documents should I demand for?
Hmm. That's a very, very good question. When buying properties in Nigeria, we have different lands in different locations and
Very
different
true.
titles, and you need to know what you are buying, and you need to know the documents you're getting. And so we have the title documents, we have the survey plans, we
Okay.
have the deed of assignment, we have
Okay.
the seller's identity, CAC documents,
Mm.
receipts. So the title document could actually be maybe your CFO, your deed of assignment, your gazette, as the case may be. So,
Mm.
but ensure that any property you're buying has a title.
Mm.
It is very, very
Mm.
important that it has a title. And also your survey plan. Survey plan will show you the location of what you are buying, and it's also indicate the size. So you just don't go somewhere and say you want to buy a property, and there's no courts, or there's no plan, no size.
Mm. Good.
They just pointed you to the area. This is the land you are buying. You don't know the size. So if someone is selling a land to you and the person may actually be encroaching on another person's land, you won't know.
Very
They will
true.
tell you, okay, well, this is 600 square meters from here to here. Just like in the olden days, they will take stone and throw it wherever the stone lands, that's where your land
That's where
is.
your land
That is
is.
just the old practice. It doesn't happen again. So you need to
Mm.
know the location, the exact location of the property you are
The
buying.
good size.
Yes, and the size. Location is a different thing, then the size is another thing. And also, if it is a resale, you are buying it from someone else. So also ensure that they have the deed of assignment. It is very, very important.
Mm.
And then also seller's ID is one of the mistakes a lot of people make. So one thing is having a title. Another thing is presenting yourself as the seller. So how do you
Okay.
prove that you, as the holder of that title or as a presumed owner, is
Mm-hmm.
actually the person? How do I know that it is your name that is on this title? So I need to inquire of you to present to me a government issued ID card, maybe your NIN, your driver
Okay.
license, so that I can also verify it. See, that is not the end of the road when you check the ID of the seller. You also need to verify whether this is the person that is selling. There are times where I have access to original document and I can tell you that I am the owner of this document, that I'm the owner of the land, I'm the owner of this document, this is it. You'll be convinced, which is not supposed to be. So you need to take a further step of also verifying the ID of the seller. Do you understand?
Yes.
Then also, if it is a company that is selling, you need to verify the CAC
Mm.
to ensure that this person is also a registered
Registered.
business. Yes. So you need to know. Then for the receipts too. So receipt is an evidence of payment, and you should always ask for your receipt. So receipt only shows that there has been a transaction, money has passed
Mm.
between the buyer and the
Mm.
seller.
Mm.
So it shows that you paid a particular sum, even though the receipt is not an evidence of ownership, it's not a proof of ownership, but
Mm.
at least it shows that you paid a certain sum. You
Mm.
understand? So one other thing I need to add is that for this title, especially the CFO and the governor's consent, that's the registered deed, deed of sublease or lease, you need
Okay.
to confirm at the land registry. You need to confirm. So you verify. I've always been saying it. I said verification is everything. Every
So you
document you're
don't fall
getting
into 419.
at all. So don't just take them hook, line, and sinker. You
Mm.
need to confirm if this document they are giving to me is genuine. Even if they are telling you, you should trust me now. You've known me over years. even your father, my dad was not hear that. Even your father, I don't. So when it comes to law, when it comes to legal documentation, do not trust anybody. Confirm all documents. So you can do that at the land registry. And also, that is why you still need to get your property lawyer before you proceed for
Very
anything. You
true.
need to get them
Very true.
before any transaction, before the start of any transaction. Get them. They know what to do.
Very true.
All
Thank
right.
you very much.
You're
I mean,
welcome.
for most people, this land registered stuff you talked about, for most people, they actually don't have idea about it when it
Mm.
comes to verifying the property they purchased. They
Yeah.
just take it as it is. I've gotten it. They gave me one document like that and so. But thank you very much for this enlightenment.